Hi everyone, I'm Camille at Marula, and today I thought I'd share with you my lavender recipe again. I've shared it before, but I can't remember if it was just to music or whether I did a voiceover, so I was making a fresh batch anyways, and this one turned out a little different than the last one, so I'll go ahead and pop the recipe into the description area, and if you wanted to try it out yourself, you can go ahead and do that. I started by mixing my room temperature oils with my room temperature lye water. I brought it to trace, added some 40-42 Lavender Essential Oil, split it off into two different amounts. The amounts don't really matter. They can be equal, they can be however much you want to. And then I just added some Ultramarines to one and some titanium dioxide to the other for my colors. I don't measure my colors, like I don't, sometimes I'll use a little teaspoon or a little measuring spoon, but I don't weigh out my colorant. I know some people do, but I don't mind the variation in color between batches. I think it's kind of cool, kind of pretty, and I like the surprise. So this particular batch has more saturated colors in it than my last one, and the batter was thicker, so I got quite the swirl pattern is a lot more defined than the other one, and I just thought that they were both really pretty. So it's a pretty simple batch too. I kept everything pretty simple, right down to the swirl pattern, like it's a very plain in the pot pour. The oils, the Shea Butter, olive oil, coconut oil, very gentle and pretty simple. I didn't get real complicated with them. The recipe super fatted to 6% and water discounted so that it moves a little quicker for me so I can peek the tops. Maybe in some upcoming batches I'll get out of my comfort zone and use a different swirl pattern for my tops, but here I've once again used my spoon. I know when I do my little swirls on the top, I'll use my chopstick to do my swirly colors, but when I'm peeking my tops, I stick to my teaspoon. But there's so many different fun ways to peek the tops. Maybe I'll have to be brave and do a different one next time. So a while back, my sister bought a bar of this from me, and she called me up a few days later, and she was laughing, and she said, Camille, I panicked. She said, I had a shower, and after my shower, I looked down, and there were these little bugs in the bottom of the tub. And I cracked up because I knew what she was talking about right away. Apparently, lavender buds look like little bugs in your sink or tub. So, but they're super pretty in the soap. So these bars I oven processed, and then I cure them overnight, and they're ready to cut the next day. They take like pretty basic cleaning up on the sides. There's not really a whole lot to do to these ones. And then they get cut at 1.5 inches. So they're pretty large bars. Last a long time. Cure nice and hard. And then, last but not least, I take off the edges. You don't have to do that if you don't want to. They look really nice and crisp with the intact edges, but I like to take them off because once your bars harden nice, just that first couple uses is a little bit nicer if you take them off. So I choose to do that. Look at those creamy tops. And those pretty lavender buds. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Have a wonderful day.